I didn't get
The WNBA stars are furious because Caitlin Clark recently earned $10 million off the court. How can a rookie receive all the love, fame, and attention?
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
First, let's discuss the facts. Caitlin Clark signed a $75,000 WNBA starting contract. For most professional sports, that's not even a quarter. To give you an idea, in their first season in the NFL, the average rookie in the NBA earns over $900,000. Salary ranges for the first year are about $700,000. Even newcomers to football in the biggest leagues in Europe are earning hundreds of thousands, if not millions, right away.
With the first pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Zachary Rizache from Lyon, France, and France's JL.
Why not the WNBA? The WNBA has never attracted enough fans to become a global sports brand, whereas leagues like the NBA, NFL, and even women's soccer have developed international followings. It's a different story. Low attendance, limited TV deals, and a general lack of public attention mean rookie wages are barely enough to turn heads, let alone build by a comfortable life. Due to a lack of appeal to casual fans and, let's face it, a product that hasn't always been advertised in the most thrilling manner, the WNBA has remained mostly restricted to a limited audience.
That's one way, but
in the pipeline, you have Olivia at Pepperdine and keeping her team.
Players in the WNBA have typically missed out on the huge endorsement deals that their male counterparts enjoy, while NBA rookies sign multi-million-dollar contracts and land lucrative deals because the league has been mired in a cycle of low attendance, little media attention, and limited financial growth for years. WNBA players have had to make much smaller concessions. Everything changed because of Caitlin Clark.
Back Benley. Here's Clark, a good look from three. She got it! The first three!
As soon as she took the court, she brought something that the league had been lacking. Suddenly, social media was ablaze with highlights of her deep threes, no-look passes, and fierce competition. Brands noticed, and companies that had never thought about sponsoring a WNBA star were now lining up to work with Caitlin. She didn't just draw attention to herself. She also brought attention to the game. But here's the thing, not everyone is happy about Caitlin's efforts to improve the WNBA's reputation. Let's discuss the elephant in the room, the frustration that many WNBA players have had for years as they have worked hard and given it their all, yet the multi-million-dollar contracts have never materialized.
2 for 1. Clark, bounce pass, there's Boston.
We've already seen older players make subtle jabs about earning your spot and respecting the grind, but let's be honest, this isn't about respect. Rather, it's about Caitlin Clark's general appeal and her ability to draw in fans and sponsors in a way that few players ever have. Now, Caitlin Clark, a rookie, comes along and suddenly becomes the face of the game. She makes more money in 1 year off the court than most players will in their entire careers, and that must hurt. The WNBA has a fantastic opportunity to capitalize on Caitlin Clark's success and establish the league as a worldwide brand.
King, the New York Liberty are WNBA champions!
But will they take advantage of it? Consider the opportunity to showcase her skills on a global scale and the worldwide attention that would have come from Caitlin representing Team USA at the Olympics. It could have been a game changer for the WNBA, but they missed it.
I think it's more of, it's the official announcement has not been made by USA Basketball. So it'd be premature for me to have any conversations about any player or anything.
Now that Caitlin is doing it alone, she is reaching a wider audience, attracting more fans, and obtaining endorsement deals that most players can only hope for. The WNBA is also playing catch-up, so if you think $10 million is incredible, hold on, this is just the beginning. In addition to her skill, Caitlin Clark is poised to become one of the highest-paid athletes in women's sports because she knows how to establish a brand. While other athletes look on in disbelief as the endorsements don't come in, Caitlyn is out there establishing connections and expanding her empire.
Her number, buying her jersey, and she has been very engaging with a lot of her fans. This has been the scene perpetually across the league for Caitlin Clark.
Furthermore, jealousy will only worsen since Caitlin Clark isn't merely altering the game, she is taking it. While other players have talked about advancing the game, Caitlin Clark has done it by doing what no one else has been able to do in years: fill arenas, break team attendance records, and more. She is more than just a rookie sensation. In one season, she broke standards, silenced critics, and most importantly, brought the WNBA into the global spotlight. The impact of Caitlin Clark on the WNBA goes beyond her incredible stats and buzzer-beater threes. It also involves filling franchise attendance spots that had previously stood for years. For example, during her home games with the Indiana Fever, the team had trouble filling half the stadium before Caitlin arrived, but once Clark arrived, tickets were sold out weeks in advance, and fans traveled from nearby states to see Caitlin Clark in person. Even away games became must-see events. When the Fever hit town, rival clubs experienced their biggest attendance in years. Regardless of the opponent, if Caitlin Clark was on the pitch, the seats were full. Now, let's discuss the playoffs. When the Indiana Fever season ended with a crushing defeat to the Connecticut Sun in the semifinals, most teams would have packed the house and the league would have returned to its typical low viewership, but not this time. The Caitlin Clark effect continued to grow even after the Fever's defeat to Connecticut Sun.
Williams poised, can't hit, rebound Smith, another chance for Minnesota. Williams connects, plus the foul, a chance for four.
By the time the WNBA finals arrived, fans were still swarming stadiums to join in on the excitement Caitlin had ignited, and the wave of excitement and the roving train of fan attendance kept the numbers going even though they had fallen off a cliff. Then it happened. The finals set a new attendance record that no one saw coming. Take a moment to consider that. Even though Caitlin Clark's squad didn't make it to the finals, the excitement she created during the season lasted, and her influence was so strong that it not only raised the temperature, but also the league as a whole.
The intensity on defense that has started this run for Atlanta, the help side got to be there.
How about the finish at the other end for Clark?
After the Fever's playoff exit, many stayed to watch and helped make the finals a historic occasion. The crowd wasn't just there to cheer on their teams when the Connecticut Sun played the Las Vegas Aces in the finals. They were there because Caitlin Clark made them care about the WNBA fans who discovered the league through Caitlin. The WNBA has failed to attract the attention of mainstream audiences, but with Caitlin Clark in the game, that struggle is beginning to change. She is not just a player, she is a world ambassador for women's basketball. In addition to breaking records, Caitlin Clark is bringing the WNBA to the attention of the world in a way that no one else has. She is the type of player who causes ordinary sports fans to pause and take notice, and once they do, they stay for years.
I think I'm just excited, honestly. I'm not a professional golfer by any means, so I think just having fun and getting to be with, two of the best to, probably ever play this game. It's super fun and special for me. I'm a fan of both of them, but
her highlights are going viral on social media, drawing in international fans who may not have previously followed the WNBA. Because of Caitlin Clark, sponsors that previously disregarded the league are now seeing its potential, and her shirt sales are skyrocketing. Caitlin Clark has already raised the standard beyond anyone's expectations, and she's only just getting started. If she can accomplish all of this in her first season, imagine what will happen next.
Now realizes it. Clark trying to take her defender, pulls up and hits from the mid-range.
Attendance records for franchises thanks to Caitlin Clark, the WNBA is now receiving the recognition it deserves. For those who had doubts about her, the message is clear. She will continue to break the playoff excitement and carry it to new heights. Regardless of whether the rest of the league is prepared or not, Caitlin Clark is not just a rookie. She is the future and is leading the WNBA. Not only is Caitlin Clark a dominant player on the court, but she also controls the conversation. While some NBA players find it difficult to get noticed by their gaming, Caitlin has gained international recognition, garnering praise from fans, the media, and, most importantly, brands that are prepared to spend millions of dollars only to speak with her.
And everything that they do, not only in women's sports, but just sports in general. It's tremendous, and I feel very lucky to be a partner of theirs. And obviously, as you guys talked about, it started before I even was drafted by the Indiana Fever, so I feel like it was kind of fate in a way. It worked out perfectly. And
while many WNBA players are still awaiting their big break, Caitlin is creating a global brand. She is more than simply a basketball player. She is a cultural icon, and some of her teammates find it difficult to accept that. Here's the real deal. The WNBA, as significant as it is only a stepping stone for Caitlin Clark. While other players are focused on making the most of their positions within the league, Caitlin is already aiming much higher. The WNBA is a platform, to be sure, but Caitlin is aiming for the stars. Her goal is to become a global influencer who goes beyond the sport entirely, and she is demonstrating every day that the league is only the beginning.
This is after a tremendous move, but we are tied right now. Clark to Samuelson, and there is, believe it or not, folks, the biggest lead of the game.
Were you aware that businesses are prepared to shell out six figures for Caitlin Clark to deliver a keynote address? That's correct. $100,000 to $200,000 for only one presentation. And that amount is it's no coincidence that Caitlin Clark holds a degree in communications. Her eloquent, intelligent, and poised attributes make her an ideal spokeswoman for any company. This is why she's not just a basketball player, but also an excellent speaker.
the coolest thing about her, and it's way beyond golf, I think her impact she's had on people. I think as a professional athlete, like, yes, you love the sports, you love the wins, you love the titles, whatever it is, but the way you impact people, and obviously...
In contrast to some WNBA players who have trouble putting together coherent sentences during interviews, frequently delivering half-literate, disjointed thoughts that fail to connect with fans or the media, Caitlin Clark commands attention when she speaks and doesn't stutter or stammer through poorly written statements. For Caitlin, the WNBA pay is a symbolic figure. The real money is in her brand power. In just 1 year, Caitlin Clark has made more money off the court than some WNBA veterans have in their entire careers.
Angel will eventually be a good pro. I don't think Angel will come into the league immediately and dominate the way people think she will. And I say that for people who have never watched a WNBA game.
It makes sense why the jealousy is so intense. While some players criticize Caitlin Clark's achievements, it only reveals their own insecurities. She is the voice of a generation, the face of the league, and the future of women's sports. In her rookie season, she accomplished more than many players have in a decade. The fact that Caitlin is altering the game rather than merely playing it is too much for her detractors to accept.
I just want to thank LSU, my family, my teammates, my coaches, Kim Mulkey, everybody that helped me. Last year I transferred from University of Maryland and came to LSU, and I just joined the family.
Since Caitlin Clark's success isn't a coincidence, but rather the product of skill, hard work, and a natural ability to connect with people, she has already permanently changed the WNBA and is only getting started. As long as the jealousy persists, Caitlin will continue to do what she does best, winning both on and off the court, with the entire world watching.
Pass it, Smith again.
by Caitlin Clark to recognize two bigs, and Alyssa Smith sees that she has a wide open.
Remember how we discussed Caitlin Clark's $28 million contract with Nike over 8 years? It's incredible for a rookie, to be sure, but for Caitlin Clark, it's peanuts in the Lynx in Indiana to face fellow MVP candidate Caitlin Clark, a player who has single-handedly brought the WNBA to a global level. She's breaking franchise attendance records, attracting millions of new fans, and making headlines everywhere. Caitlin Clark is more than just a celebrity. She is a sensation, and Nike is consciously sitting on a gold mine. When Michael Jordan joined the NBA, Nike seized the opportunity, developed the Air Jordan brand, and made him a household name. His name is worth mentioning today. Billions.
In the Lynx in Indiana to take on fellow MVP candidate Caitlin Clark.
Nike hasn't even put a Caitlin Clark brand shoe on the shelves because, let's face it, they're afraid of the reaction. They know that giving Caitlin Clark the recognition she deserves will provoke criticism from racists and gatekeepers who believe a young, white woman shouldn't be the face of a global sports brand. They'll argue that she's just a rookie and that she doesn't deserve the spotlight, but the truth is that Caitlin Clark's impact on the WNBA and sports in general is undeniable. She's doing what no one else has been able to do, making the WNBA significant on a global scale.
On September 15th, Nike created a revolutionary new basketball shoe.
I've never been the right kind of woman. Oversized and overconfident. Too mean if I don't smile.
Consider the impact of a Caitlin Clark signature shoe line. Nike is losing money as a result of their hesitancy. With Caitlin's influence, Nike would lead the rapidly expanding women's sports industry. In addition to drawing in WNBA fans, Caitlin Clark is attracting new people from all walks of life. She is a crossover star with a following that extends well beyond the basketball court, and her signature shoe would establish Nike as a company that encourages and supports trailblazers in women's sports, much like they did with Serena Williams and Michael Jordan.
For WNBA Draft, the Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
Good job here after the travel to turn her back and show.
Had Mitchell right there, did not see her. Mitchell was wide open on the wing.
With a degree in communications, Caitlin Clark is eloquent and delivers motivational speeches that appeal to both fans and brands. Her charisma attracts millions of viewers eager to see what she'll do next, and her fearlessness both on and off the court makes her the ideal brand ambassador for Nike. What does Nike stand for once more? If the company doesn't take advantage of Caitlin Clark's pledge, other companies are already lining up to work with a once-in-a-generation celebrity. We appreciate you viewing this video, and for future updates, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Keep checking back.
Yeah.